Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Miguel rejoined Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? So in this timeline, Tori's mom will still pass away. Johnny and Daniel will still want Miguel and Robbie to compete for captain, so Miguel and Robbie will still fight. Robbie will still be balanced in this timeline, and he will still defeat Miguel, so Robbie will still be the boys' captain, and Miguel will still be disappointed. Sam and Tori will still fight, and Tori will still be fighting with anger. Amanda and Daniel will still stop the fight, and much like in the original timeline, Tori would still quit Miyagi-Do, and she would still leave. And later on that day, Miguel would be walking on his own, but this is when he would notice Tori talking to Kreese in the distance. Miguel would be confused, and he would approach them. Kreese and Tori would be surprised to see Miguel, and Miguel would ask what was going on. Kreese would say that he was making sure that his champion got the chance to be captain on his team, and Kreese would say that he heard that Miguel wasn't going to be Miyagi-Do's captain. He would say it wasn't surprising that Daniel and Johnny chose Robbie over him, and this is when Kreese would say that he could make Miguel his male captain, and at first, Miguel wouldn't know what to think. But Miguel would realize that he would have a better chance of getting into Stanford if he was captain of a team in the Sekai Taikai, so Miguel would be conflicted. Kreese would say that the choice was his. Miguel would go home, and he wouldn't know what to think. Carmen would notice that Miguel was stressed, so she would ask him what was wrong. So Miguel would tell her everything that happened, and he would ask Carmen not to tell Johnny. Carmen would be conflicted, and she would remind Miguel of everything that Kreese did, but she would tell Miguel that she supports him no matter what he chooses, and after a lot of hesitation, Miguel would eventually accept Kreese's offer. So Miguel would tell the Miyagi-Dos that he wasn't going to be there for the Sekai Taikai. The Miyagi-Dos would be confused, but Miguel would say that he needs some time off to work on himself. So in this timeline, Sam would be the girls' Miyagi-Do captain, and Hawk and Kenny would take Tori and Miguel's place. Season 6 would continue, and at the Sekai Taikai, Miyagi-Do would be surprised to see Kreese and Cobra Kai there, and they would be surprised and heartbroken seeing Miguel and Tori in Cobra Kai. Johnny would be heartbroken, and he would be filled with anger. The Miyagi-Dos would want to confront Miguel and Tori, but Tori wouldn't want to talk to the Miyagi-Dos. Robbie and Sam would confront Miguel, and Miguel would tell them everything that happened, and how his best chance of getting into Stanford is if he was a captain of a team in the Sekai Taikai. Miguel would say it wasn't personal, and that he hopes that they can forgive him. Sam would be heartbroken, and she would get mad. So in this timeline, Sam would break up with Miguel. Daniel and Johnny would also confront Miguel, and Miguel would tell them the same things that he told the rest of the Miyagi-Dos, and Johnny would also be heartbroken. And during the mixer, Johnny would confront Kreese, and he would want to fight him, but Johnny would be kicked out. Those events would continue. Eventually, the Captain's War Challenge would begin. Miyagi-Do would be on defense, and they would still be doing Protect the Egg. Quan and Miguel wouldn't get along. Quan would think that Miguel stole his spot as captain, and Tori and Quan would still want to go after the Miyagi-Dos, so the challenge would begin. But Miguel wouldn't want to go after the Miyagi-Dos, and he would go after the other dojos. Since Sam had broken up with Miguel would be fighting with anger. Devin and Dimitri would still go down. Robbie and Sam would be distracted by Tori and Miguel, and Robbie and Sam would be taken down, so only the Cobra Kais and the Iron Dragons would remain. The rest of the Iron Dragons would still walk off. Quan and Yoon would go after Axel, and Miguel and Tori would go after Zara. But much like in the original timeline, the Iron Dragons will still take down Cobra Kai, so the Iron Dragons would win. The Sekai Taikai would continue. Miyagi-Do would still have to knock the other dojo off the platform, but Miyagi-Do wouldn't do so well. Miguel would be fighting well, and he would be fighting with anger, and he wouldn't be knocked off. Kreese would try to manipulate Miguel, but Miguel wouldn't want to listen to Kreese. Cobra Kai would do well on the platform. Johnny would want to talk to Miguel, but Miguel would be ignoring Johnny. Miyagi-Do would still have to fight out Dublin Thunder. Robbie and Sam would still start off, but they would be distracted by Tori and Miguel, so Robbie and Sam would both be knocked off. Kenny and Devin would go on the platform, and they would fight their opponents, but Devin would still sacrifice herself to save Kenny, so Dimitri would join Kenny on the platform. Eventually, Dimitri would be knocked off, so Hawk would go on the platform, and in this timeline, Hawk and Kenny would finish the fight, so Miyagi-Do would win. And much like in the original timeline, Carmen would still be rushed to the hospital, and Johnny and Miguel would have to leave. Miguel would also get a call from Rosa, so Miguel would have no choice but to leave with Johnny. So Quan would take over as Cobra Kai's captain, and Sensei Kim would fly one of her other students to take Miguel's place. And that is where I'm going to end part 1. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Miguel rejoined Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.